this session, we will discuss about the future value of money. We'll discuss about net present value. We'll discuss about benefit cost ratio and opportunity cost. All these gets into the business case of a project. So the business case is a paragraph which explains the justification for doing the project. At least by executing the project, we should be able to get more money than the initial investment. Then only the project is viable. In the project management circle, there is a saying like, when does a project fail? Is it at the beginning or during execution, or is it at the end? Projects fail at the beginning. Maybe the result of failure gets visible only at the end. And very often, the reason for failure is not having a solid business case. Engineers get into a project because they get fascinated by the technology or whatever it is, and they start building it without developing that business case, without analyzing the cash flows, without analyzing the business viability. And after some time, they realize that, okay, this is technically marvelous piece which doesn't have a business case. By that time, you would have spent a lot of money and energy on the project. By having a solid business case defined is a great motivator, because if there is a solid business case, then the probability of that project becoming a winner is very high. So let us start now. We'll start with the time value of money. That means if I put some money in the bank, which is the present value, for 5 years. So we'll say the future value after n years is present value into 1 plus r to the power of n. Where future value is something which I am going to get after, if n is the number of years. Let's say I'm putting $1,000 for 5 years. I'm putting $1,000 in bank for 5 years, and the amount I get after 5 years is equal to 1,000 into, if I'm getting 10% interest for this, let's say R is equal to 10 by 100, and N becomes again 5. So this becomes future value after 5 years is equal to present value, that is 1,000 into 1 plus the rate of interest is 10 by 100 to the power of 5. So this is equal to 1,000 into 1.1 to the power of 5. So if I put $1,000 into the bank for 5 years, and if I reinvest the interest also back to the bank for a 10% interest, then after 5 years I get 1,000 into 1.1 to the power of 5. So if I'm investing $1,000 into a project, the project should give me something more than this 1,000 into 1.1 to the power of 5. Otherwise, we say that the project doesn't have a business case. And the process of reinvesting the interest also back to the account, we call it as compounding. So in a layman's language, If I'm borrowing 1000 rupees from the bank for executing the project at 10% interest, the project should give me more than the cost of capital. Otherwise, there is no business case. Or if I'm investing into a project and if I put the same money into the bank at a rate of 10% interest, the project should give me more returns than the interest the bank provides. Otherwise, the project doesn't have a business case. So here we discussed about a major thing, that is future value is equal to present value into 1 plus r to the power of n, where present value is the present money which we are investing, the r is the rate of interest, and n is the number of years. So if I invest $1000 into the bank for 5-year period at the rate of 10% interest, after 5 years I must be getting 1000 into 1.1 to the power of 5. And if I use this money for executing a project, the project should give me something which is more than this. Otherwise, it doesn't have a business case. So this formula gives me, I call it as a peace formula for me, because I have this addiction of buying gadgets. So these days, after understanding this formula, I at least ask this question like, why should I buy this? If I buy this, what are the benefits? And how much investment should I make to buy this? And what are the returns? If the returns are more than the cost of capital, then it has a business case. Otherwise, it doesn't have a business case. So, in the next session, or we'll continue with an example for calculating this net present value. So that I'll do in the subsequent video. So here we should remember this formula. Future value after n years is equal to present value into 1 plus r to the power of n, where n is the number of years, r is the rate of interest, and we are investing the interest also back to the bank. So future value is present value into the 1 plus r. Future value is present value into 1 plus r to the power of n. So that is the formula which we should remember.